Let's hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some freaking money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Jo here of SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on SportsGrid TV, on X, as well as YouTube. Happy Friday, everyone. It is May 23rd. We have game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals tonight. Western Conference Finals tonight between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. The Eastern Conference Finals will move to Carolina tomorrow, or to Florida tomorrow. Man, get my facts straight. To Florida tomorrow as the Florida Panthers have a 2-0 lead, getting a nice big win again last night. Hopefully you guys rode with me with the Carolina Hurricanes under 2.5 goals. Now, it did look like they got a goal, but they had a goal taken back. So they got shut out in last night's action. It was a great game out there for anyone cheering for the Florida Panthers. And now they're only 2 games away, just 2 games away from taking this series and getting to the Stanley Cup Finals. So hopefully you guys rode with me. For the Florida Panthers, it looks like we could get the sweep. Now, Sam Reinhart is a big question mark out here. We're unsure where he is at injury-wise. He did leave the ice last night. So that could give Carolina the opportunity of getting one of these wins out there in Florida. But you know my struggles with betting Carolina on the road and Florida just schooling them out there on the ice. So I do think it's going to be a hard matchup going back tomorrow to Florida for the Carolina Hurricanes. So let's jump into tonight's action. When we look at tonight's matchup, the odds right now on FanDuel, the Edmonton Oilers, after taking a commanding 3-1 lead into that third period, ended up losing game 1. Now in game 1, we did see that, what was it, 6-3? Yeah, it was a 6-3 win by the Dallas Stars. That third period, 5 goals in the third period. They were able to convert on that power play, and they did get a couple of empty netters, 9 goals. So we were riding the under the over 35.5 goals in this series, and it's looking pretty good on track. We got 9 goals in that first game. This game, though, I really do think we look at the 5-on-5 high danger shots in that last game between these two teams. We only saw 17. I do think we see stronger goaltending, stronger defensive presence in this one, and the lack of power plays. The power play conversion was way too strong for the Dallas Stars, for the Edmonton Oilers to stop. They converted on 3 of their 4 power play opportunities, while Edmonton was only able to convert on 1 of 3. Edmonton has been struggling on the power play. We know that. We know that from their last series. This is something that absolutely has to get going. Now, physicality-wise, Edmonton was more physical in game 1, 43 hits versus 34 for the Dallas Stars, 27 shots on goal for Edmonton, 28 for the Stars, 15 block shots for the Edmonton Oilers, and 16 for the Dallas Stars. So really comparable numbers there when we look at that, the physicality, those shots and those block shot wise. I do really look at that face-off. The Dallas Stars won 62% of the faceoffs, and they still went into that third period down. Now, I do think in this game, we have to bet this one to go to overtime. I think this is a tighter game. We know the Edmonton Oilers down to 0-2 in a series still can come back. And even if they lose tonight, I'm not counting them out of the Western Conference Finals here. I do think they still have the ability to get the win. I talked about getting the better price going into for the series if Dallas won game 1, so you can jump back in on Edmonton. I still do have faith in this team, how they're able to push it up to the next level. Now, lots of hate being coming on Skinner for that last game. You know, we saw him on back-to-back shutouts versus Vegas and then in that last game. But, you know, you can't hang your goalie out to dry and have him face all of those power play opportunities for the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars and the Edmonton Oilers, deadly power plays on both sides. That was the biggest difference with what we saw out of Dallas in game 1, was their ability to convert on that power play, going 3 of 4. I do think in this one, you look for Edmonton to play a cleaner game. They absolutely have to. They can't play that style of game that they did in the last one. And you look at the Dallas Stars and we look over history. Their ability to win the big games just isn't there. Edmonton has that ability to win these big games. Now, I know they won game number 1, but I do think Edmonton answers back here for game number 2. And I think this series probably goes over 6 now. I had the series finishing in 6. I do think we might see that 7th game. It's going to be really interesting if we do. I'm looking for Edmonton to bounce back and get the win on the money line tonight, minus 105, you guys. But the overtime bet, I think, is the best bet of this game, coming in at plus 350. Now, that total is hard. I do think this should be a 3-2 overtime win for the Edmonton Oilers. I think the lack of high danger shots, the goaltender is playing stronger, the defense is looking stronger, and the lack of power plays that I expect in this game will lead us to an under total. Now, with overtime, that puts us in a really tricky situation because I could see 3-2 overtime game. But if we got a 3-2 game, we either get the empty netter, which doesn't get us to overtime. I think the more likelihood of getting us to overtime, but then we've got a 4-3 game. So I'm going to stay off of that total. Expect those defenses to lock down a lot more in this one. And for the Edmonton Oilers to walk away with a win. Now, you could look at some players, absolutely, but I just can't get there with anyone because I can see that 3-2 style of game. I do think the best way to go is to look at the goaltenders, and that is where I'm going to go. Skinner over 22.5 save shots on goal is minus 102. If you want to go under it, you're going to have to lay the juice, but I do think Skinner comes out nice and solid in this one. Way too much talk about him not being an NHL goalie all over the TV, you guys, and he really played fantastic versus Vegas. He looked strong out there in those last 2 games. And if it wasn't for those power plays, we saw a really strong performance out of Stuart Skinner. So I believe in him to go over 22.5 save shots on goal tonight. We did see 28 shots on goal by the Dallas Stars in the last game, and Edmonton blocking 15 of their shot attempts. Now, when we look at Jake Ottinger definitely looked like the stronger goaltender in the last game, but he still allowed Edmonton to light the lamp. His number just looks too high for me. 27.5 is his number for his save shots on goal. There's no way I can go over this. In the last game, Edmonton only had 27 shots on goal, 16 block shots out here for the Dallas Stars. And for me, looking at this to be that lower scoring game, I don't expect these shots to come piling up for either of these teams. Like I said, those high danger shots, the 5-on-5 hockey style as well. I will take Jake Ottinger under 27.5 save shots on goal. I think at most he faces 26, and we know a couple of those should go in for Edmonton. So Jake Ottinger under 27.5 save shots on goal. Stuart Skinner over 22.5 save shots on goal. Yeah, Skinner is mad. He's going to get those push-ups, and he is going to be on fire. So I like Skinner tonight. I think he's going to really stand up here for the Edmonton Oilers. Hall coming in with his parlay, small one. Heiskanen assist and Granlund for the point plus 375. Yeah, you can't deny what Mikko Heiskanen has been able to do, and Granlund out there. We did see those points just racking up for both of them, goals for both of them in that last game as well. They've been playing so nice and strong. Oilers puck line and the over for Jamie there. Yeah, the Oilers on the puck line. Are you doing the actual puck line plus 1.5, or are you going to do the alt puck line, and are you parlaying them? Because if you parlay the Oilers plus 1.5 and the over 6.5, it's coming in at plus 167. I do like the value you are getting on that, but if you do the Edmonton Oilers alt puck line, can we do an alt puck line here? No, because I want overtime, but that alt puck line is interesting, coming in at plus 220. If you think Edmonton will win this because of that empty netter. So let me know, Jamie, what you are doing there. Let's have a freaking great weekend. Go Dallas. You're on the Dallas Stars tonight. Losing Reinhart will hurt them a lot. It absolutely will. Reinhart has been so stellar out there for the Florida Panthers. It's going to be a really interesting next game for them to see what happens out there without Reinhart in that lineup and where they move to. So Kev, happy Friday. Let's make some freaking money. You guys, let's recap these bets today. Quick shows. I will be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. or sorry, noon. It's 10 a.m. my time. Noon Eastern here on the grid for Puck It with Joe. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, your holiday weekend, not a holiday weekend up here. You guys know I'm on the grid every single Saturday and Sunday, but bonus, you'll see me Saturday, Sunday, and a Monday. So Saturday and Sunday with a Scott Wetzel, 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Monday, catch me with Tom Vecchio, 4 to 8 p.m. as well. So it's definitely going to be a great weekend over on the grid. You just want to get in on these live bets. We'll be talking everything from the ice to the diamonds and of course NBA. And I tell you, the NBA, oh man, the Timberwolves killed me again last night. I tell you, this team, maybe it's a first half team that we should, or first half bet on the Timberwolves, because looking at that game last night, I was super disappointed with what we saw. You guys know in game one, I rode with them plus the points. I went back to that last night and OKC ended up winning with 118 to 103. So they didn't cover the 7.5. But you looked at that first half and yeah, they weren't within the numbers. I think it was what, 58 to 50. So you were pretty closer than you were at the end. So interesting to see OKC just flying, covering by 7 points last night. So really good one there. But you guys, all the best. Oh, let's do the recap. Bad influence, making me put 100 hours of overtime. Yeah, let's get that overtime in, you guys. Money does not wait for anyone. We got to make that freaking money out there. Diamonds, hardwood, ice, you know we're going to be betting them. Recap time, the Edmonton Oilers versus the Dallas Stars. Give me the Edmonton Oilers minus 105 on the money line. Give me overtime at plus 350. Give me Skinner to stand on his freaking head. He better stand on his head, you guys. Over 22.5 save shots on goal at minus 102. Give me Jake Ottinger under 27.5 save shots on goal at minus 130. I just don't think there's going to be enough shots generated out of Edmonton for him to go over that number. It just seems too high. I'm looking for less power play opportunities, so I do think this should finish 3-2 in overtime. I will stay off of that total because while both of these teams are lethal on the power play, if they cannot play disciplined hockey out there, we're not going to see Edmonton win because Edmonton's just been struggling to convert. Edmonton needs to play that disciplined hockey. They need to lock down defensively, give protection to Skinner, and see a lower scoring game. I think Edmonton wins this 3-2 in OT, but again, staying off that total because we could see that 3-2 trying to protect their lead, or Dallas trying to protect their lead 3-2. Edmonton tying it up. We got a 3-3 game. We're going to overtime and we see a 4-3 style one. So that 6.5 is very interesting. And I'm so glad you cashed the Canes team total under 2.5 and over 2.5 for the Panthers. So I'm glad that you were riding with those. I only played the Canes. So great work taking the Panthers team total as well. Connor McDavid, first goal score. Yeah, why not look at Connor McDavid? We saw Leon Draisaitl open up the scoring in that last game. We got the assist by Connor McDavid and I believe Darnell Nurse. You guys know I was high on Evander Kane in the last game. Evander Kane did not get us that point. So if you want to go back to Evander Kane, you guys know I will. I always go back to players that I miss out on in that first game because I did believe in them for a reason. Now, Evan Bouchard, he has just been a playmaker across the board. So looking at Evan Bouchard, I think is a fantastic way to go. But his point is minus 148. It's hard when I do think this is going to be a lower scoring one to take him for 2+ points, but you know he could get in the mix. Evander Kane's dropped to plus 144 for the anytime point in this game. We know in that last one, he was like closer to 2-1. He was like a plus 178. So be very cautious with that, with the higher juiced players, because I do see this 3-2 more so than the 4-3. So I'm so glad you cashed in on it, Joe. I got kind of like nervous when Carolina scored that goal, but it did get taken back. And then even in that third period, I didn't feel at ease, but you look at those shots on goal last night and they weren't giving them up. Florida was not allowing Carolina to get those shots. If you guys saw the stands, you heard the chants, shoot the puck. I would have been screaming the same thing if I was on Carolina. You know, we rode with some of those props, but at the end of the day, it worked out because we were able to cash on the props for Florida as well as Kane's team total. But I would have been so frustrated. Those stands cleared out. And let me know, you guys, in the comments, if you would leave a game. I won't leave a game. Like, I am staying till the bitter end. I don't care. What if there's an amazing play that you miss out there on the ice? Anything can happen in any game. I won't leave anything. Used to drive my ex-husband crazy, probably why he is my ex-husband as well. He didn't even like sports. So that is where we're going to go, man. I am rambling today, Jo, but thank you for being here. You believe the Oilers will win because Dallas normally doesn't go up 2-0. Yeah. And, Kev, I'm looking at, I think Edmonton just has the team that has the ability to take it all the way this season. I do think with Florida, I'm expecting it to be a Florida-Edmonton rematch and for Edmonton to be able to hoist the cup this year. So if you guys want to jump in on Edmonton, you definitely know it is a great way to go. And I'm going to be wearing that Chargers jersey on opening day in September. Preseason, I'm probably even putting it on. So that is where I'm going with that. Yeah, you never leave a game, right? Don't leave a game. You're going to go with the Yankees on the run line. Love the Yankees on the run line today. I'm also going to take the Yankees first inning to be able to get us at your feet, to be able to put up that run. Look at their team total if you can get it on your book in that first inning as well. I expect them to hit hard and fast straight out of the gate. And you're doing the Oilers on the puck line and the Pacers +6 versus the New York Knicks or the New York Yankees run line. Okay. +6 in the New York Yankees run line. I like where you're going for sure. Okay, I'm just seeing all of your comments, just going through them, making sure none are directed at me. I don't know. That's a good question. Really good question. That is for sure. Took Edmonton money line tonight and Edmonton to win the series in the cup. Jo, I love where you're going. I'm exactly on the same page as you. I think it is a really smart way to go. I left a Calgary game early because Jo Madden was signing autographs. I would be at the game. I would not be signing autographs outside. That is for sure. There's no reason to ever leave a game. Don't walk off the ice and don't throw your jersey. Okay. I hate when fans throw their jerseys when they're done with their team. If it's your team, it's your team. And I'm a fan of teams that hardly make it anywhere. I'm a Calgary fan. I'm a Toronto Blue Jays fan. That one pains me so much. And then a Chargers fan. I love the Kings too. Something most people don't know. The Kings definitely my second team out there. And then, yeah. So you guys, let's make some freaking money. You threw your Chargers jersey. After they lost to the Chiefs. We always lose to the freaking Chiefs, you guys. Okay. All the best in all your bets. Let's make some freaking money. Let's go, Edmonton. You know how confused my brain is every time I say that. It is money over love, you guys. So money over love. The Edmonton Oilers get the win tonight. Let's put our money there. All the best in all of your bets. I will see you back here at noon Eastern tomorrow. And don't forget, on the grid, 4 to 8 p.m., Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Saturday and Sunday with Scott Wetzel, and Monday with Tom Vecchio. We'll see you then. Hit some anytime goal scorers as well as save shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score.